Hello, I'm Joey Haskins, and welcome back to You've Never Seen, in which I showcase a movie you've probably never seen before. And today, we're taking a look at the first ever silent film covered on the show. When it comes to silent stars, there are probably three notable ones. There's Charlie Chaplin, who always played the paragons who are lovable all the way to the end. There's Harold Lloyd, who plays the guy trying to make it big with big dreams. And finally, there's today's subject, and my favorite of the silent stars, Buster Keaton. Buster, although the lesser known of the three stars at the time, had a one-up on both Chaplin and Lloyd. He was a physical comedian. Buster isn't just known for his comedy, but for the physical stunts he did to perform them. He had no fear. Buster has done stunts with trains, cars, trolleys, buildings, and people, and he never faked anything. It was always him doing the stunts to make it as real as possible. He reveled in his ability to be creative with what he could do, but most of his career was done in large part without signing to a major studio. That is, until the late 1920s, when he received an offer from MGM. And although Chaplin and Lloyd told Buster not to do it because he'd lose his independence, Buster did it anyway since his films were making a lot of money. Thus, his first film with the company ended up being one of his best, The Cameraman. The Cameraman, much like his other films, involves Buster being an outsider with a quirky side. He tries to woo a girl who works at, conveniently enough, an MGM news station by filming reels around town with a camera, but because he's dirt poor, can only afford a camera that's falling apart. The Cameraman, of course, shows Buster's versatility in making films. His stunts are great, sure, but the physical comedy in general is off the charts. Buster's not the type of comedian who needs to tell a joke, he can just show you it. Take the scene where the girl he likes calls him on the phone and asks him to pick her up for a walk. As soon as she gives a slight chance of positivity, he runs all the way from his house to hers, with her still thinking she's talking to him on the phone. And of course, there are the amazing stunts that are performed in the movie. There's the speedboat scene, in which Buster saves a drowning girl from a runaway speedboat on his own with a rowing boat. There's a collection of scenes where he rides on the side of a double-decker bus through New York. And of course, the gang war that Buster became embroiled in, avoiding gunfire and explosions while filming everything with a rinky-dink camera with its legs torn in half, filming good shots with a monkey on his back. An actual monkey. And that's what made Buster so good at what he did. He used comedy, stunts, and especially camera placement to the fullest of their abilities. Unfortunately, MGM didn't care about that. They saw Keaton as a star and not as the comedic genius he is. For a man who didn't rely on scripts and had most of his best work improvised on the day, it didn't work out with a company that was reliant on strict deadlines and schedules to get everything done. The Cameraman originally had a script made by several writers with many characters in it. But Buster wasn't interested in that though, and was able to convince the man who worked in hiring him, Irving Thalberg, to throw out the script in general. Because another thing Keaton is most known for is his lack of dialogue cards. Keaton liked using the movies themselves to tell a story instead of several cards showing what someone is saying. Keaton in his later life often mentioned how he used only 23 cards of dialogue, while a regular silent film used about 240 on average. But anyway, Buster saw from the get-go how signing with a studio was a red flag. He continued to work with the company though, making a few films a year and constantly butting heads with authority at MGM. He was with MGM from 1928 to 1933, after which he was unceremoniously fired by Louis B. Mayer. Buster would eventually call his hiring by MGM the worst mistake he ever made. After that, Keaton would make less and less films as his career waned and new comedians were showing up on the scene. Ironically enough, it wasn't because of the introduction of sound. Keaton was actually very open to doing sound films, but was barred from doing so during his years at MGM. And although those years were hell for him, The Cameraman has endured and is known as one of Keaton's best films, and the last where he had creative control on. There have been sporadic revivals of Keaton's films over the years as clips of his fantastical stunts pop up on social media, but Keaton has achieved what many stars before and after him have achieved: immortalization in the minds of people around the world. The Cameraman actually entered the public domain this year, so you can pretty much find it anywhere, but you can stream it on Tubi or at your local library. With Weston Media Center, I'm Joey Haskins, and I'll see you all next time.